All right, so we're gonna begin with the 30, 60, 90, and then we'll go with the 45, 45, 90. So with this right here, the 30, 60, 90 is essentially saying that, okay, you have 60 here, 30 here, and you have 90 here, right? 45, 45, 90 is saying that you have 90 here. Actually, it doesn't matter what it looks like, but we have a right triangle, 90 here, 45 here, 45 here. So for clarity, I'm gonna do this. Alright, so for the 30, 60, 90 rule, what it's saying is you're trying to find the sides of each. Well, we know that the hypotenuse is both gonna be 1, right? Now, for this right here, this is not an isosceles triangle. This is an isosceles triangle. This is just a right triangle. This is just a right triangle. So we know that the hypotenuse is 1 and you're trying to find both sides, right? Well, what we can do is extend this further, like this. Now, what this means is that, and this will turn the right triangle into an equilateral triangle, because if we add 30 with 30 here, since if we duplicate the both sides, we get 60 degrees here. This is still going to be 60, right? But now we can actually copy this here. So if we copy this both sides, then you have 60 here. So you have 60 from here to here. You have 30 from here to here. Now 30 plus 30, if we add that, we get 60 degrees. Now we have 60, 60, 60. Now they're all the same. That's the point of an equilateral triangle. So we have one here. Now we're going to have one here and one here. It's all going to be the same. Now with this in mind, what we can do is divide this by 1/2. Why? Because this itself is 1, so 1/2 plus 1/2 is going to be 1. Now, what does this mean? Well, we know that if we come back to this now, if we just focus on this, we know that this is 1/2 now. This is 1, but this is y. We still don't know what y is, but we can use the theorem where we do 1/2 squared plus y squared equals 1. Now, if we use the Pythagorean theorem and we square this, we get 1/4 plus y squared equals 1. We subtract 1 both sides and we get y squared equals 3/4. Now square root this, we get y equals root 3 over 4, root 4. Now this will be equal to root 3 over 2, and that is going to be the y, and the x is going to be 1/2. So that is going to be 1/2, and this is going to be root 3 over 2. Now let's move on to the 45, 45, 90. Now, since this is 45, and this is also 45, this means that this side and this side is going to be the same. Now, what does this mean? This means that this side is going to be both s and s. It can be the same variable. Now, if we use the Pythagorean theorem again, let's go with s squared plus s squared is equal to 1. 2s squared, since we can add these two, is going to be equal to 1. We divide 2 by both sides, and we get s squared is equal to 1/2. Now, we square root both sides, and then this will be equal to root 1 over root 2, right? Since we're taking the radical of the top and the bottom, and then we get square root of 1 is just 1, and then we get square root of 2. Now, this isn't completely simplified. You can also take the denominator and multiply it by root 2 over 2. This is like a big one that you learn. Now, what this will do in return is keep this nice, and you wouldn't have the radical as a denominator. Now, this is the finalized form right here, root 2 over 2. Now, with this, we know that, since we know now that the s is root 2 over 2, this will be root 2 over 2, and this also will be root 2 over 2. Now this means that this will be root 2 over 2 over root 2 over 2. This is going to be the coordinates of angle 45. And this will be the coordinates, which is 1/2 root 3 over 2 when it is 60 degrees. When it's 45 degrees, will be root 2 over 2, root 2 over 2. When it's 60 degrees, it's going to be 1/2 over 3 over 2. Also, we can convert this into radians by doing this conversion. 60 degrees is going to turn into 60 degrees times pi over 180 degrees. Now, if we multiply this, we get 60 degrees over 180. We can cancel those 0 out. 6 divided by 18 pi, divide 6, both sides, we get pi over 3. Now, pi over 3 is going to be equal to 60 degrees. With 45, we can do the same conversion. 45 degrees is going to be times pi over 180. 45 pi over 180. We divide that by both sides. We get pi over 4. Because 4 times 45 is 180, pi over 4. Now, what does this mean? This means that, in essence, the 45 degrees is going to be the same as pi over 4. Now, how do we convert this back? Well, we can do the inverse of it. So pi over 4 times 180 over pi. And this way we can cancel the pi out. And we get 180 divided by 4. And we get back to 45 degrees. And that's it. That is all you need to know about these two rules.